right, then let's go ahead and find out who the GM is. Let's see if I actually remembered to make the video here. Yeah, space! That was a good space shuttle. Please welcome on in the GM for game number 4, the Donkey Clonk. It's a Donkey Clonk. It's a Donkey Clonk. What was game 1 today? I don't even remember anymore. No, Mary-Kate and Ashley. Yeah. The New Adventures of Mary-Kate and Ashley for Game Boy Color. Wow. Donkey Clonk, I remembered something.
What?
I know, right? It's absolutely unusual. But that's okay. And I remembered that you are our GM for this game. And I remembered Arcade Pit for later. And I remembered to actually try to set that up. So it's good. It's good stuff.
Yeah, things are looking up this week. We had even players who showed up.
On time! Yeah. It's fantastic. Oh my gosh, last weekend, everybody, let me just say, it was something special. But thank you, everybody, for stepping up and showing up on time. I very much appreciate it. But honestly, I'm not sure you're being nice for them.
No, I am not. This is not the game I wanted to get for a 2-point match, but it will have to do.
You know what, Donkey Clonk? One time there was a 2-point match, and a lot of, the people, they all came last place on their first match, and most of the time GMs are like, let's go ahead and give something, a little bit more fun and entertaining. And then I'm like, here, have this big pile of crap, friends. I have no sense of, balance when it comes to giving games out to people. I just give whatever I feel like. So don't feel bad if it's a little bit ruder. This is Kusog7ande, and I would personally love to see the pain at some point or another. Yeah.
Yeah, this game ties into what Jeff showed earlier with this ZX Spectrum game, because this is very much a game which belongs with the early platform, early 1980s platform. It's a game from 1984.
Okay, what game is this?
It is called the Kokotoni Wilf, and yeah, so that is the actual name.
Yeah, Kokotoni Wilf. And we'll see if we have the Wilf power to make it through an hour. The players are racing to try to make as much progress as they can in the hour. Whoever does takes first place and gets 10 points. Second place gets 7 points. Third and fourth will get 5 and 2 points respectively. And because they took last place in their first match, they will be eliminated. That is how the story goes, everybody. Kokotoni Wilf will determine their fates here. And you say that, you feel bad about it. I love old school platformers, okay? I'm a big fan.
Yeah, and what makes this game stand out for all the other early platformers in the Manic Miner, Jet Set Willy style is, for one, you have wings, you can fly. For 2, it has a really stupid name. Number 3 has a really stupid soundtrack. And number 4, it has inertia.
I gotta say that I actually kind of like the name. And also, inertia for flying games. Are you talking about, joust-style inertia?
Yes, and you have that style of inertia on the ground as well.
I don't mind that personally, because I have played a lot of games with that style, but people, especially younger people who haven't had a lot of old school Commodore 64, Atari experience, are probably going to struggle, and that makes me excited. Yeah.
Yeah, this whole genre is just unflinchingly brutal with the precision you have to do and the lack of precision you have in your movement.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this music already is making me chuckle. I know this music.
I know the in-game music is the menu music special.
I don't know what it is, but I feel like I know it. It's very familiar. Okay, we are getting a lot of buffering from people. It's getting later on a Sunday. That sometimes happens. Well, yeah, I think I'm ready.
Yeah, I know Sephiroth's Shadow in particular mentioned that he has bad internet.
It happens. I'm not too concerned. I'm checking to see if the players are ready to begin. We do happen to have zone items and Wilfs. I assume that Kokotoni Wilf is the full name of this character. I do know that some people are looking at the name Wilf and sort of raising their eyebrow. I would say, don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's fine. It's for winged life form.
Oh, yeah, wingling life form. And also, like, come on, it's Hedgemaze could tell us what the full name was. Okay, it looks like the players are ready to roll. So everybody, I need you to get all of your Wingaling emotes and spam those for us. Anything else that would be good?
Dinosaurs. It's not as if we're going to get out of level 1.
Okay. Wings and dinosaurs. Spam, everybody, spam! Bring out the boys! Because as soon as I see movement in the first stage, I will start our timer. This is what happens when I stream for too long. Okay, and here we go. I will probably recapture so that we have a better close-up image here. So don't worry too much, everybody. Welcome to Commodore 64, where everything is much smaller than the initial screen. It looks like we're getting sound effects. And a little bit of
music and sound effects.
What? That is sophisticated. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, everybody, if you are able to name what the song is or what the musical is that it comes from, I will give you a mental high five. Do 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 do. I like that the music doesn't play consistently. If there are sound effects, it's like, gotta pause the music real quick. We gotta do whatever sound effects are here. This is beautiful.
Seems to be getting a good. Oh dear, what happened for Sephiroth?
I don't know. Sephiroth's shadow can figure it out. That's what happens when you're the shadow of Sephiroth. Sephiroth doesn't care about his shadows. True, he's a jerk.
Link also getting the gist of this game.
Okay, by the way, chat, Bad Check Pun has guessed correctly. The music is from Oliver, one of the worst musicals in existence, in my opinion. Who the crap made it? Nobody cares about Oliver. Oliver's dumb. Oliver Twist, more like Oliver.
Did you catch the lore that I posted in the match channel?
No, but if you have it pinned, I can go and grab that. I don't see
right. That. It's right next to the rules and to the pin that is it. Just
okay. Let me go ahead and jump up there. Okay, for this game. Okay, there's the game manual. I'm gonna pin that for them. Is it in there?
So this first level has 12 screens, and they are connected.
Oh, come on, why?
They're connected fairly non-linearly, but the goal in the game is to collect all items, and I mentioned to it that they will be scored on how many items they collect.
Okay. I do not like this music. Okay, I'm very upset about this because of how much the music is getting interrupted constantly by everything. It is rubbing me the wrong way. It is really rubbing me the wrong way.
Come on, we already have 55 more minutes of this.
This is not okay. It's like you're just waiting for the next note. It's like listening to a 5-year-old practice the piano. It's like you want it to do well. but you just know that listening to somebody practice the piano when they have just started learning how to play it is like the most tolling experience in your life. Oh, I hate this. Okay, I've got the lore, though. I think I'm gonna go old man for this, if you're cool. You ready for me to read?
Certainly.
All right, here we go. Legend has it that several hundred years ago, in a province in northern Europe, there lived a great magician who was known by the people of the time as Ulrich. Ulrich discovered that there had once existed a legendary dragon amulet, fragments of which had been scattered throughout time. Ulrich wished to recover all the fragments of the amulet, but by the time of its discovery had become too old and infirm to undertake the arduous task by himself. So Ulrich commanded his athletic protege, Kokotoni Wilf, to recover the fragments for him. Ulrich sent Wilf back in time more than 500 million years to a time when dinosaurs roamed the earth. The only help he was able to offer Wilf was to provide him with a set of wings to aid his adventure. Only when all of the fragments had been collected from a time period was Ulrich able to give Wilf further help by creating a glowing time gate. When located, the time gate enabled Wilf to travel to another period where more fragments of the amulet were to be found. Your task is to guide Wilf in his search for the fragments of the legendary dragon amulet. Between myself, you are going to be in trouble. I have more than one voice. Okay, let me go ahead and do my lady voice. Legend has it that Okay, never mind. Well then, Wilf is a time-traveling flying boy.
Yeah, conveniently named Kokotoni Wilf. And by the way, this is not the way the game is supposed to sound. It's just that I didn't give the players the actual controls because the manual only has the lore.
Wait,
the way the controls work is exactly as you might expect, and apparently the game crashed for Mechalink.
Well, that's not good. But welcome to old video games. It happens to the best of us.
So the way the controls work is that up is fly, down is nothing, because even if you hold down, you descend at the same rate as if you don't hold up. If you move to the right, then you move to the right, and you don't stop moving to the right when you go neutral. You need to move left to stop yourself when you're going right.
I have to ask, though, do you have to press the flap button to readjust?
No, you do not.
Oh, that's
the
frustrating.
Fire button turns the music on and off, and it seems that Transquina, who is providing the music, thinks that the fire button has something to do with flying, but no, it affects the music.
Are you serious? The fire button just turns on and off the music, that's all? Okay, that's hilarious. Well, we'll see if Transquina is able to figure that out.
I'll try to help out Mecha. Oh, Mecha seems to have figured out reloading the game.
Yeah, we hopefully are going to be fine. By the way, question for you: how do we track progress? What are we paying attention to?
Items.
Okay,
we have
so
items on 6
selected.
items.
It looks like Zant has 5 items. Everything appears to be pretty deadly, and I'm gonna go ahead and say that when I asked if this was similar to Joust controls, you lied to me. It is nothing like Joust controls. Because you use the fire button all the time in Joust.
But this is C64, it's up to jump.
Joust, you control left and right, and then jump, it's like Flappy Bird. Jump is your flap. Or the button is your flap, and those are all the controls that you worry about in Joust. Left, right, flap.
Oh, Quina on 8 items. That's the lead.
Very nice. Yeah, one thing about Joust that I think it makes it an amazing game. It does have inertia, as in, like, while you are flying through the air, if you just remain neutral and do nothing, you continue at the same trajectory. But also with that game, if you push left and right, you continue at the same trajectory. You only change if you flap. But in this game, it just looks like it's a game that has gravity, but you also push up, down, left, right to move.
Yeah, and it's the sideways momentum that is especially problematic, because you look at Trans now, because Trans was moving fast, she wasn't able to get away from the dinosaur because it keeps your momentum between screens.
Yeah, Transquina is at 9 items. By the way, yeah, because this is a Quina is a Final Fantasy name where there was no voice acting. There is no official pronunciation, so I will continue to say it my way, and you can continue to say it your way, and I am fine with that. One of the best characters in FF9, though, easily. In my opinion, I don't know, all of the characters in FF9 were pretty good, except for Eiko and, like, Amaranth, was it? I don't even know. Or whatever. But
yeah, we kind of had the Final Fantasy battle going on in the match.
Sephiroth versus Quina? Who would win? I don't know. Quina could eat Sephiroth.
Especially if she's in trans.
Yeah, just pull out the big cooking pot. Bam. Sephiroth, yeah, you can go ahead and summon, like, a meteor to fly through all the planets. That literally cannot kill Cloud. It will not kill him. Doesn't matter how many times you destroy every planet in the solar system, Cloud lives.
Yeah, destroying the solar system only does % damage.
Don't you love it? Don't you love destroying the solar system to only deal like 90% damage? Honestly, I'm cool with how extra it is. It's pretty good. Chat is correct that Link was technically in Final Fantasy 1. And that is pretty great because he has a tombstone in the game. So his corpse is in the game. Oh, poor Transquina. So, okay, it's just up, down, left, right to control this game. And the fire button either starts the music or stops it. That's why we're hearing the terrible, 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 terrible starting and stopping of the music here. And I don't know if the player is going to figure this out or not. And honestly, I am fine either way.
I said in match chat what the fire button does.
Oh, you did? You don't? Question is, did everybody read it? Oh yeah, you have it right there. The fire button toggles the music. It has no effect on your character. But yeah, I'm not sure if Transquina read that, and that is probably fine. I'm cool with a good laugh. Hey, Mecha Link has 10 items and probably gets dinosaur.
A dinosaur because of the between-screen momentum. You can get into death loops easily with the between-screen momentum.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. the thing is, like, if Transquinta doesn't realize that the fire button does nothing with your character's momentum, he may be trying to rely on that in certain areas, thinking that it does something, and that would end up being a detriment in the end. But he could also be trolling us. I just don't know.
Well, it might even be a placebo effect where you think the fire button gives you control.
Okay. Like, I would probably be pushing it all the time as well, just to make sure that, like, it... I don't know.
Yes, Dragon Hero, this game involves time travel.
Yeah, whether we're gonna get out of 1 billion BC or not is another question. That's really far BC. That's definitely pre-dinosaurs. No, that's 1 million BC. That's definitely post-dinosaurs. Whatever.
Xan's also at 10 items now, but he was the third person to have 10 items.
1 million, 1 billion. Either way, it's just not dinosaur era. I'm trying to remember, like... 1 million is post-humanity, 1 billion is pre-bones. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good...
Xan's in the lead. Xan's with 11 items.
11 items? That is a really good push. How many items to get out of level 1?
12, but I never actually got this far testing the game for 2 hours, because if you in this in a tournament, you're probably better than the games than I am.
Everybody, yeah, welcome to Kusog7ande, where...
So I don't actually know if there is an exit you need to go to, or if the game automatically ends the level if you collect all items.
I mean, there's the last item for level 1.
Okay,
yeah.
So there is an exit. I don't know where the exit is.
Oh, Zan can figure that out. I'm not stressed. Where there's a Wilf, there's a way, Xandra. That is brilliant. And while I normally would be angry about puns, that one actually makes me laugh a lot. Despite the lack of laughing that you're hearing, I'm laughing on the inside. I promise. Oh, baby, da da, da 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 da, da 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 da.
No, not the death loop with a dinosaur.
Also, I'm reading the description on Wikipedia that says that what you're supposed to do is look for pieces of the amulet that look like Stars of David. That does not look like a Star of David. It looks like a plus symbol. That is not a Star of David.
Yeah, that might be different between the Commodore and ZX Spectrum versions.
Oh, yeah. This is the Commodore 64 version. Kokotoni Wilf indeed did come out on both the ZX Spectrum, the Commodore 64, and I suppose third version was Amstrad CPC.
Yeah, anything that came out on one 8-bit microsystem generally came out on the others.
Yeah, okay, let me see if I can find the ZX... Oh my gosh, this is
Megalink
hideous.
about to get 12 items. Let's see if he can find the exit.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that I still don't agree that it looks like a Star of David. Let me go ahead and pull this up for y'all. I mean, like, if you really mess up what the Star of David looks like, sure, you could go ahead and say that, but look at the top right here. That's just like a really distorted... Yeah, no. I'm gonna say that's not a Star of David. That's just a piece of the amulet. That's what it is. But yeah, those colors for the ZX Spectrum are strong. A toy sheriff's badge. Yeah, no, even a toy sheriff's badge is more Star of David than this is. Somebody, by the way, is saying that they bet that the warp is on the first screen of the stage. I wouldn't be too surprised that it's either on the first screen or on one of the last screens, and you might have to go, like, talk to somebody, or I don't know. I don't know what you have to do. Do-do-do-do. Beep, beep.
Yeah, this time the GM is as much in the dark as the players.
It happens. The funny thing is that, like, no matter how much we test a game, there's a high chance that the players are going to do better than any of the GMs. Just, it's strange, you know?
Ooh, this is promising for Mechanic. A blinking item.
It's blinking. That could be the warp. Is that level 2? Is that the gate to level 2? You only have one Wilf left. You don't want to lose it.
Okay, I didn't know about that, but we have a flashing warning apparently we need to add. And here we have the Viking Age.
Yeah,
8960.
It's not too terrible of flashing, but yeah, it's not the kindest either. That will probably not be an issue for most people, but we'll go ahead and throw a warning up on screen. Especially helpful for the people watching the VODs. Guess what? None of our testers made it this far. Welcome to Kusog7ande, where for some reason the players tend to do better than we do. I love it. So this game was made by Neil A. Bate, who also wrote, I believe, the Commodore 64 version of Paperboy. I also see Frank Bruno's Boxing, The Fall Guy, not Fall Guys, okay, The Fall Guy,
which is based
64.
on a TV show which, if I remember correctly, had David Hasselhoff in it.
Oh, The Hoff! That's always a good sign.
Also made Airwolf, which I featured in Kusog7ande last Kusog7ande.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Ninja Debugger in chat was saying that Mecha Link was in a death loop for a little while there with the cloud. And yeah, here's an issue with some games that show up on Kusog7ande. Occasionally, they do things like that. As it turns out, it's when these aren't the best games in the world, people get to struggle. By the way, Zant and Transquina both have 12 items. Games back in the early 80s especially did not receive nearly as much testing as games, I'd say late 90s and on is when games really started getting tested more. Otherwise, there were probably like 2 or 3 people working on a game, and when it was done, they put it out. Generally, when the game makers were better at a game because they had played it a lot, they were the ones testing it, and so they didn't really have a good grasp of what was too difficult or not. However, for Commodore 64 era, it was actually fine to err on the side of too difficult. Simply put, games usually weren't that long, and having very high difficulty made it so that the game would last longer for people instead of, you spend $20 and you beat this in 5 minutes. Who wants to do that?
Yeah, also you had development teams that consisted of perhaps 1 or 2 people.
Yep. And yeah, as far as I can tell, looking at this, even like the ZX Spectrum team had about had a gateway timeout. That's cool. Maybe that site just went down. It was about 3 people, as far as I can tell, that worked on this. Not only that, but like, if you're making a game based off of something that people have heard of, maybe you want to make sure that it works completely. But Kokotoni Wilf, nobody has heard of Kokotoni Wilf.
Yeah, and for example, Jet Set Willy, which is one of the most famous ZX Spectrum game, which, for example, this game is patterned on, had a completely game-breaking bug on one of the screens on its initial release. It was simply not possible to complete the game because of the bug on that screen.
Oh no. I do see that one of the people who worked on this, this was their only game. They worked on the ZX Spectrum I think maybe the Amstrad version. That was Stephen Clapham, and he literally only worked on this. We do have somebody who worked on some of the Indiana Jones games, the Indiana Jones action game that came out on NES and that is not good if you've ever played that. We also have RoboCop versus the Terminator in '93. They were a producer for that. We also have the production director for one of the Aladdin games.
It's amazing. I did not expect a RoboCop connection, and Xan is on the way to level 2.
Yeah, I mean, this is Elite Systems. It's as far as I know, it is a UK video game development company founded originally as Richard Wilcox Software. And simply put, I would say almost every RoboCop game made was made in the UK. Except for the Korean bootleg. That one definitely was not made in the UK. I can say that much. Oh my gosh. This music is wearing on me. Starting to get old. But yeah, this company, this was the third game that they put out. Like, before this, they put Blue Thunder and the Fall Guy out. They also made a Dukes of Hazzard game later. Looks like they did some of the ports for Ghosts and Goblins, and if I'm not mistaken, those are horrifying ports.
Oh, Xanth in the lead now.
Very nice. 17 items. Xan is doing fantastic. Yeah, Mechalink is at 14 items. Remember, the top 2 players of this match are going to stay in the tournament. The bottom 2 are getting eliminated. So it's actually very important. Wait, no. I saw some link between this company and Dragon's Lair for the Super Nintendo, and I don't want that to be true. Because that is horrifying. Please be a lie. Please be a lie. I'm just gonna go ahead and say maybe that's a lie. That's fine. Okay. The music! Stop. Transquina, I love you, but holy crap. I am so sad. I'm so sad that you push the button so much. Because it hurts. It literally hurts me. In all of the good ways. So one thing that you might not know, Mike Uyama had given out a game called Last Battle before that is essentially based off of, if I'm not mistaken, is it JoJo? Is it, I don't know, it's not JoJo, Fist of the North Star. Don't think JoJo was a thing back then. There were some ports of it to like Commodore 64 and stuff. And yeah, the company that did those ports worked on this game. That's great. That's horrifying. I don't want to know about that. Yeah. Do. Come on, music. Just do it. Just do it, please. But yeah,
this is really exciting between Sans and Mechalink, where Mechalink has 2 more lives and needs 1 more item to tie.
Yeah, Xant had 21 items. Mechalink currently has 20 items. All you have to do is collect 2 more to move into the lead. However, this room is a little bit rude, the one that Mecha Link is trying to go into. It looks like you probably need to go in through the left entrance. This is something that also is fairly common in a lot of sort of UK developed games. I'm thinking like Jet Set Willy, which is a fantastic game in my opinion. Monty Mole games were also sort of similar in that, you know, you could go into rooms from certain directions but not always able to access them and had to go around through different screens in order to get to the other side there.
One feature about the Jet Set Willy is that it was non-linear. You had an enormous mansion to go through, and you could go about that in non-linear. This game is a bit more linear with its zones.
However, it looks like Zone 2, you actually do have to approach some of the rooms from like a specific direction. You can't just like flap your way around every enemy. You might have to think, well, there has to be a different way to get into that room. I see an exit/entrance on the other side. Maybe I can either do a loop around the bottom in order to get over there, or around the top to get over there.
That is an excellent point, yeah.
Yeah, and that, again, I think that was much more common in British games. I actually really like that feature. Like VVVVVV, if anybody here has ever played that, definitely falls in line with a lot of the games that you see here. It drew a lot of inspiration from games that were on the Commodore 64 and the ZX Spectrum. So you will see some resemblance. This isn't quite as much of an influence, I would say. Like ZX Spectrum had very simply colored and simply designed sprites, and usually without much or any animation. VVVVVV takes directly from those older games. By the way, don't worry about Sephiroth Shadow. They're struggling with internet. In fact, I feel like all of our players are struggling with internet right now. I'm going to hit the little refresh button by everybody's stream to try to get them back synced up. So don't worry too much, everybody. We're doing it. We're doing this. We've got it. We've got it covered. We got it under control. Sometimes internet's a butt. If you've ever had Comcast, you know internet is a giant patootie. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do. Oh no, Trance, the barrel ran you over. That is a sad day. Kokotoni, I cry for you. Is the Wilf icon the aim icon? Asked chat, and I'm gonna say yes. Aim is Wilf. In disguise.
So I specifically asked the players if they had color blindness for this map, because this game is really fond of putting green things on cyan and backgrounds.
Honestly, because it's a different shade, it's not as big of a deal. Like the brightness, the green is darker there, and I would say that, like, for black and white, it's probably going to be fine. So it might even be easier on your eyes if you are colorblind. This color of green I hate.
Yeah, this is not a pretty game.
Yeah, I'd say that in general. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do a little colorblind simulation real quick so that y'all can get an idea of what this would look like for somebody who is completely colorblind. Let me open this up. Can I desaturate this? I don't think Paint has desaturation. I've got Photoshop, though. Yeah. Transquina, maybe one day you will learn that the button doesn't jump. It starts and stops the music, and it makes it so hard. And I love it.
Hey, you get slightly less Oliver.
I mean, I hate Oliver and Company. Not Oliver and Company. Oliver and Company is an okay movie. I mean, it's got Billy Joel in it, you know? But the musical Oliver is the worst. Okay. Let's go ahead and just go black and white. Okay. In fact, let me pull this up for everybody here. I'm gonna name this wilf.png because heck yeah. Yeah, so the issue with color blindness here, the green on top of the cyan is a little bit rough for your eyes, but honestly, removing the colors in this case is almost better as what I have on the screen there. Yeah, the brightness is fine here. So honestly, whenever you are making a video game, you may consider taking a look at brightness. And a lot of video game companies have been making quote-unquote colorblind filters as an accessibility option. As it turns out, that's not accessibility. It is simulating color blindness, which is great for development. It's very helpful for development. But yeah, in essence, color blindness isn't going to be an issue for this game. Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah, you have a point that color blindness might help, because with normal vision, holy smoke, it's garish.
Yep. I've got a little color blindness, and, you know, the main thing is that if the icons that you need to collect were the same color as... or not necessarily the same color, but the same brightness, and there was no easily distinctable way to see an icon, that's when it would be an issue. But yeah, whenever you see video games that have a colorblind filter, that should only be used for the developers, and it makes no sense to put that out as an accessibility option. There you go, video game developers. Just use the filter to make sure that you can see everything in the different versions of color blindness there. And then make it so that you don't have to... like, make it so that you can see everything using the filters, then get rid of the filters. Bam. There you go.
Sephiroth now with 12 items as well. Both Sephiroth and Transquiner have got 12 items, but haven't found the exit. Transquiner was the first to have collected all 12, so that would put her in third.
Yeah. Codeman, you're saying that you've seen a few that have filters that specifically shift red and green a little bit towards other colors, and that can help. You may be correct about that. Actually, playing Final Fantasy XIV, I've been trying to figure out something that would work, but it just, like, really, for Final Fantasy XIV, all I need is for, like, menu things to be slightly different color. Like, let me change the color of light blue that shows up on mini-maps so I can actually see the dots for where my friends are. If you did that, if you allowed me to change those colors without changing everything else, since it's a UI color, then I would be happy, okay? That would fix all of my issues that happen with, like, color blindness. Just let me change that UI element's color. I'm getting ranty, Donkey Klonk.
Hey, at least you're not paying patch 6.2.
I mean, technically I am. Shut up. Actually, it's 6.2.1, but, you know, who cares? Oh, everybody else who plays the game cares. Yeah, 6.2. I'm gonna 6-point your 2.
This is another good push from Xanth, who is already in first.
Yeah, 17 items. Xanth approaching this item from the left side. Just as I was saying, this game, like a lot of other British video games out there, requires you to approach certain items from one part of the room and not the other part. Yeah, I told you, Donkey Klonk. I know my British video games. I know my Commodore 64, like, exploration games. And I love them. I love games like this. Honestly, I would say that this is not the best of the Commodore 64 ZX Spectrum style exploration games, but this definitely isn't the worst either. I kind of like this game, I gotta be honest.
Yeah, it's interestingly bad.
Yeah. Oh no, Zet, that's a game over. 19 items. That's not enough to get a new personal best, but you're still solidly in second.
No, Xanth is in first, and here is Mecha going into...
Wait, Xanth's in first? Oh, yeah, never mind. Bloody one.
But here is 5 Wilfs for Mechalink going into level 2.
I love some of the dinosaur animations, like on Xanth's screen. Sort of vibrating. One thing that I love about games made in the 1980s is how, like, nobody cared about any sort of historical accuracy. 1 million BC was very post-dinosaurs. Like, very post-dinosaurs.
Yeah, it's a bit of a trope with dinosaurs and cavemen.
Yeah, they never existed together. Okay. Oh my gosh. This music hurts. And yet, I love it. Yeah, oh no. Chat also hates the music from what I can see. I'm very sad. But that's okay. I will mourn with all of the lovers out there who have lost love due to this music. By the way, Radabafort is saying that Mechalink did not get stuck in a death loop due to a cloud, and that is always a plus. Kokotoni Wilf, get out of there! Good job. Oh, geez. I was very stressed about that. By the way, in the 1980s, Wilf was a very different thing from what you may think it is now, which, honestly, it's not an acronym for anything these days. There are other acronyms that are kind of close to it, but no, it's... Wilf was actually just the last name of angels. Every angel, last name was Wilf. Yeah, that's right. You know the angel Michael from the Bible? Michael Wilf. That's right.
I mean, this is a UK game. It's not inconceivable for a person to be named Wilfred.
I mean, but it's a last name, right? Maybe? Or Kokotoni's a title? What is even happening? What is it? Kokotoni! I mean, okay, Ulrich. Ulrich, where does Ulrich come from?
Ulrich sounds Norse, and wow, that is the last item in the stage. And Mechalink has seen the exit.
Okay, I'm trying to find a Wilf in Norse mythology. I'm not going to search that very much. What about a Kokotoni? Is there a Kokotoni? Honestly, sounds more like...
Mechalink takes the lead.
More like a stereotypical, like, movie mob boss. Hey, Kokotoni here. Over with, you know, he talks with the Boston accent. He needs your money. He needs the money. He's the boss. Yeah, Kokotoni.
And Mechalink died from a table. When
oh no!
Hey, bro, when can't you stand on a table? When it's unstable.
I was gonna say when you have no legs, but yeah, that when it's unstable. Yeah, that's better than my answer. When you're an egg, that could work. You're an egg, you can't stand on a table. Doesn't even make any sense. You're an egg. Just kind of roll around a little bit.
The struggle of egg never
Sephiroth, by the
ceases.
way, is on level 2 now. Somebody is saying that 23 items is the current lead. Who got 23 items? Was that Mechalink?
Yeah, Mechalink got all the way to level 3.
Jade Strike X in chat is now saying that these dinosaurs should be making out. And I'm a little concerned. Why should the dinosaurs be making out?
It's probably referring to the French
they've
kissing
got
ones
tongues.
on...
They're very far apart to be making out, though. That's like social distancing French kissing.
Yeah, perhaps COVID wiped the dinosaurs out.
Oh, the COVID got him. Ah, I hate it. I hate when that happens. I do enjoy like boys playing with barrels in 1 million BC. That's pretty cool.
Even in
I'm also
1
gonna
million
say.
BC.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to make a bad barrel roll pun, and now I thought better of it.
Okay, that's probably for the best. We will not make that joke. I'm also going to say that tongues have more uses than just kissing. Kissing may be one of the better uses for the tongue, but I would also say that, like frogs, you try to make out with a frog, tongue gets stuck. It's gross. Just don't. Okay, it looks like Sephiroth's Shadow is up to 19 items, and he has a chance. Oh, never mind. Zant up to 18. He has a chance of moving up from 3rd place, though.
Yeah, this is a good opportunity for Sephiroth. Remember that 3rd and 4th are out of the tournament, so 2nd is massive. But Xanth, who is in 2nd now, is making her own push. But not exceeding her 2nd place at 21.
By the way, I am finding that there are some people with the last name of Wilf. It indeed is a last name short for Wilfred, as you said, Donkey Clonk. And like Harry Wilf. He was a Polish-born American businessman, brother of Joseph Wilf. Who the crap is Joseph Wilf? I don't even care. Oh, he was... Wikipedia says that Joseph Wilf was the brother of Harry Wilf. Well, there we go. We have learned a lot here. Leonard Wilf, son of Harry Wilf. Yeah. An American mathematician named Herbert Wilf lived here. Okay, cool. Let me see who Harry Wilf is and find out what...
Oh lord, I didn't know that the transition came with static.
I love that sound. That sounds like you're going through space. It sounds like you're time traveling. Okay, I actually really like that.
Hey, it's a break from the music.
Sort of, I suppose. It was fine. Okay, I'm actually finding a lot of stuff saying that the last name Wilf was actually fairly common for let's see, for people coming from Poland, often
That's going up to level 3.
Often Jewish people who had left Poland and immigrated elsewhere for various reasons.
Xanth with minute 3. Xanth has a chance to take the lead.
Okay, yeah, Xanth, go. But yeah, I actually had no idea that there was like so much history to the name Wilf. And
what a close call with the cauldron. But Xanth is in first now.
Yeah, Xanth, good job. 24 items. This is starting to get steamed up. Now, chat says that we figured out the last name here, Wilf. Kokotoni. Is anybody named Kokotoni? Is this a real name? That's my question. But yeah, Xanth, 24 items. That is a solid lead, if I'm not mistaken. Transquina is currently soft locked, it appears, and I'm just saying, if you're soft lock, you may need to reset the game. I don't think anything's going to come and kill you.
This is where your clipping through skills would come in handy.
I love trying to clip through stuff. Oh my gosh. Just so you know, everybody, I was testing a Jeff game the other day, and I'm not going to say much more about that, except that I was having a lot of fun trying to find glitches in it, and I love bad video games, and I love playing them. And as soon as you have really janky physics, they get fun. But yeah, I prefer not to spoil what my GMs are looking into because, I don't know, they have gifted me with an early access touch.
It's a Jeff game. Nobody can guess what's in Jeff's head.
I don't remember what it's called anyway. I just remember that I had a lot of fun trying to clip through walls.
Trust me, even if I said the game's name, no one would have a better clue anyway.
Okay, let me see if I can find Kokotoni. Kokotoni, are you anything real? You search up Kokotoni, you get Kokotoni Wilf. There's a place in Kenya named Kokotoni. Okay. What's that? What's Kokotoni, Kenya? Okay. The smallish town. Transquina is getting back into the game. Honestly, with 9 minutes left, we're starting to get close to the end. Mecha Link could move back into first place if he gets 25 items. But watch out, there's an octopus. You don't want to get got. You only have one life left. There we go. Tied for first. Because Xanth got it first, though, she would be considered in the lead. But is Mecha Link going to be able to find one more item? That is the question.
Bats are bats. It's a video game bat.
You don't have a timer. Like, just go slow. Don't rush it. You know, and there we go. Mecha Link rushed it and died. That is a tie. And the tie goes to whoever got it first, which means that Xanth is still in the lead. Mecha Link second, Sephiroth Shadow third, and Transquina in fourth. We could still technically see anybody move into first place, though. It's not over.
Yeah, this is a game where you die quickly, but also a game which you really cannot rush.
Yeah, not at all. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, I think the only two Kokotonis in the world are Kokotoni Wilf and Kokotoni Kenya.
Sephiroth back to level 2.
Yeah, level 2. That's always good. Like, the last two people are going to be eliminated, and right now it's looking to be Transquina and Sephiroth Shadow, but if Sephiroth Shadow can collect 25 items total, he will move in to first from third place. But there's no way that he can, like, manage to stay in the tournament without getting 25 items. Now, Transquina has actually made it to level 2. Unfortunately, got stuck by the tree, and that was unfortunate. But that's life.
Yeah, this style of early platformers, this is really something that meshes with some players and others not.
Yeah, and that's fine. Do 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 do.
Wait, has Transquinner stopped using the fire button? Oh, praise the
yeah,
Lord.
actually, we're having very smooth music. Oh, it's great. Like, I don't hate the music as much when I can actually hear it. Like, and it doesn't pause every 2 to 3 seconds. Nimbex, thank you for coming and sharing the joys of Cat Planet. It's been a little while since I've heard the tales of Cat Planet. And I love Cat Planet. Doo-doo. Cat Planet is better than any game about Oliver. Oh, I have to say. Also, question. It says 960 AD for a couple of the players. I swear when Mechalink made it to the second level, it was like 1690. Am I...
No, 1690 is level 3.
Wait, Mechalink has made it to level 3?
Yes, San and Mechalink have both made it to level 3.
I'm so good at paying attention to these streams. The
level with witches and cauldrons is level 3.
Okay, I guess that makes more sense. By the way, I was listening to a podcast about the Salem witch trials. Did you know they put a freaking 5-year-old girl in jail because she was accused of being a witch? A 5-year-old girl! Yeah, let's see. It was Dorothy Good, if I'm not mistaken. She even had the last name Good. How are you gonna put a... Oh, I guess her name was also Dorcas. Well, that's not...
Sephiroth has actually collected all the items in level 2. No, not the shark. And has the chance to go into level 3.
The good thing is that she didn't die. She didn't die. They just put her in jail for a little while, and then people are like, this is dumb. We're not going to put a 5-year-old... Like, we're not going to put her on trial. This is dumb. So that's good. I mean, she eventually died, but it was like a good 20 years later. You know, there were plenty of people dying back then. But yeah, so there you go. 1600s American history got a little bit wild where they were putting children in prison.
Sephiroth onto level 3, but only with one, but on his last life.
Just don't touch the skulls. Skulls are death if you've ever played video games before. Don't touch the vibrating books either. They want to kill you. Sephiroth's Shadow. All you need to do is get 2 more items and you get to, you get to stay in the tournament. Sephiroth does not know how many items he needs, though. He's not opting for that item there, and instead walks directly into a rat and dies. That is a game over. Kokotoni Wilf is a brutal... That's perfect. What a brutal game, everybody. Kokotoni Wilf, unfortunately, is hard, and Sephiroth just dying to clouds. That's Sephiroth always dies to clouds. That be life, you know? Da 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 da. Like Oliver the musical, I hate it just because it's boring. Everybody knows the story of Oliver Twist. You don't need a musical about it. Guess what? Oliver Twist, he was an orphan and he wanted food. And guess what? They wouldn't give it to him. So he overthrew, they just revolted. Yeah, that's right. Putting porridge everywhere. throwing porridge left and right on the walls, painting in the bathroom with the porridge. Yeah, probably writing, hey, Samantha's ugly. Pull out their Sharpies, just jotting it down. Samantha's a bee. Yeah. They didn't swear back in Oliver's time. They just wrote the letter B. Samantha's a bee.
Mechalink with a shot at a last-minute push into fast here on level 3.
Yeah, Mechalink doesn't know he's in second place. But look, that's a lot of lives. Okay,
that is a lot of lives for Mechalink.
Yeah, it's just really easy to accidentally fly out of the room. Mechalink is fantastic, by the way, at playing video games. So the fact that he is having a hard time getting into this room, that gives you an idea of how well this game controls. I would say that I would still enjoy this game despite the terrible controls, but Mechalink, if you get this item here...
No, the rat. Rats.
Well, yeah, that's how rats go. That's 25 items. Was that enough, or was it... Yeah,
it's enough for first, and with
first
20
place.
seconds on the match.
There we go. We've got to switch Mechalink into first place. Zant in second. Sephiroth Shadow third. Transquina fourth. That is going to be our match order. There is not enough time to change that. And I'm really happy. This has been an exciting match. Look at the witch getting
witch
burned.
burning.
Well, good. Hopefully it's not Dorcas. Definitely looks older than Dorcas, you know? Well, everybody, we have survived the witch trials. We have survived the dinosaurs. We have survived whatever was happening in 960, and Sephiroth died by Cloud, which happens to the best of us, you know? Mechalink takes the victory. Zant second. Sephiroth Shadow third, and Transquina fourth. Unfortunately, Sephiroth Shadow and Transquina are both eliminated from the tournament, but that's how tournaments go. Gotta start elimination. I'm gonna go ahead and welcome Mechalink in. Yeah, how do you feel the players did?
As I said, I didn't ever get to level 2.
Yeah, everybody here made it to at least level 2. Like, you played this for a couple hours, too, didn't you?
On and off.
Yeah. Yeah, Sephiroth Shadow, they're saying, I liked this, really did not pick up on this quick, but I enjoyed the experience. And here we go, Mechalink, our winner today. Hello there, Mechalink.
Yes. I'm so glad because I had that controller fit at the beginning and you weren't giving me more time. I was like, wait, what? Oh, no.
Nope, that's how it happens. Welcome to Kusog7ande.
It was like 5 minutes. It was pretty long. Anyway, yeah. Okay, good.
But yeah, you got through it. Most of the time, like, if it is something that, like,
sometimes you have to live with it. I know.
Yeah, but you lived. You won. Yeah. What can you say?
I'll take that. Man, this game's actually almost okay, but the momentum system is nightmare. Like, the momentum system is what gets you.
Really?
Right? So you can't see this, but like I actually still have control, right? So let me. So I'm using keyboard because my controller freaks out, right? But,
yeah.
So see how I can get still, but then I press the little. I'm going a little.
Okay.
I'm speeding up, right? Like that's the case for everything, right? Like so you have momentum, like you're going down, I press up, and it doesn't necessarily go up immediately, right? So that's why you would see me I'd get into rooms and I'd be like, I'll press up, and I'd be like, haha, no, you're gonna run into that guy on the ground.
So
right?
You've got momentum even towards like walls and floors that it doesn't look like you're moving against.
Like when I'm going left here, I'm not touching the button. Right?
Okay.
You have constant movement and constant momentum. Right?
So you're like a ball.
Yeah. So it's that's what makes it hard, right? Like so that you want to go up, it takes a few seconds for you to take off. You wanna you wanna go down, you have to let go a little bit, right? So you have to do your inputs before you need them. And for all those pieces where I walk and kind of made a tight turn, right? Or a tight movement, right? That's again managing momentum, right? If you stopping your movement requires managing momentum. right? Like it's hard. Like,
Yeah.
if it weren't for that, like it's just kind of a dodgy game, right? But the momentum is a pain. Oh man. All right. Anyway, that's the big thing. Is like you can't see that, but oh man, like that's what makes that's the worst part of the controls is you are pulling against your momentum at all times. You want to turn around? That takes time too.
Oh yeah. By the way, Xant is absolutely shocked that she took second place. You only took first in the last 30 seconds.
Good. That's about what I expected. Like I was like, I need to. I knew the left I could get this one, but I'm like, I want to go the way that I knew that had more. Like right,
yeah.
Like so I kind of rushed through those last rooms. They're all pretty easy, right? Like so I'm like, okay, right, like good. I advanced, right? Like and then I kind of started to come back up for the octopus and time hit, right? But yeah, no, it's not that hard. It's just frustrating and like you touch anything and you die.
Yeah,
right?
It's really funny. Like, I think the room with the rat that you walked into, Sephiroth Shadow actually had a chance of moving out of third place into first and walked into a room that had a rat. You were telling us right now that the physics, because of the momentum, there's just not enough time to react. And I was like, I saw you like having a hard time staying in certain rooms, and I'm like, that gives you an idea for how bad this controls, because Mecha Link is good at controlling games, but I didn't realize that, like, I thought that Sephiroth Shadow, like, just didn't react fast enough, but...
No, like, the second he saw it, he could have pressed up, and it takes
there's
a
no
few
time.
moments before you take off. You have... Remember in the first level, there's that purple dinosaur at room 10 or so, right? Like it's right at the entrance, and I died to it a couple times.
Yes.
Same thing. If you go in on the ground, you are dead. Turn right around. Like you can turn around faster than you can take off. Like immediately turn around because you are dead. Right?
Oh.
Like and come in and every other time, right? Like once I figured out, I came in flying, right?
Yeah.
And it was still a little tight. Same deal, right? Like you cannot react that fast. So you have to be ready to turn around and move room entrance, right? Like. And the same thing happened, a number of times when I ran into the back of those guards, same thing, right? Like it's just like it cost me multiple deaths. That's your momentum transfers through death. It's infuriating.
Yeah, actually, I'm thinking maybe the controls a little bit more like Marbled Madness or maybe even Monkey Ball than a typical platformer. That's just mind-blowing to me that this game controls that poorly.
The momentum through death is why like you see people take deaths at the beginning, right? Like just because like they were like the game gave them up left momentum and they just ran into the cloud. Just like GG.
We actually did see Transquinta get a soft lock, by the way, accidentally like walking under a tree because they were already walking that way and couldn't get out.
The second stage tree, you could flip into it.
Yep.
Right. Like I flipped into it a couple times. You saw, but I was able to get right back out. Right. Like I imagine you can flip even further if you want.
Yep. And that happened, and it was a soft lock. Like, I don't think anybody getting eliminated today should feel bad about that, because this is just, like, one of those control systems that you do not expect to ever get. And then it shows up, and you're like, well, now I get to deal with this for an hour. At the same time, I kind of want to play this.
I think it's, like I said, like, it's the two pieces are this inertia control system, which you can manage. Right, like if you get used to it, but you have to be ready for all those things, right? Like just surprise, turn around, just like you have to get it to work, right? And then the other thing is just that you died on one hit to everything, right?
Yeah.
And that's just hard, right? Like that's hard platforming, right? Like, and so that's the other piece of it. So yeah, like those two things really kind of dominate. Otherwise, figuring out that you have to backtrack to progress, right? Like I had the right idea there. I hope everybody picked that up. Yep.
I think most people start figuring out the rules for the game and how to make progress. The biggest thing is that I think the biggest thing that helps with this is to play more like old school British platformers because they have a very specific style that is unlike any other genre out there. I'm talking like Commodore 64, ZX Spectrum, those games. I love them. They're the inspiration for VVVVVV. That's possibly like the best good game you can play in order to prepare for something like this. Because it makes you think a little bit like about having to loop around and go to access different areas from different directions rather than the first time you enter a room. Yeah, anyways. I had a lot of fun today. I think everybody else had fun as well. Before we leave, though, I want everybody to know in about an hour over at twitch.tv/smite, Corndan and I will be not racing necessarily, battling NPC Lives and Mr. T on Arcade Pit. You should definitely come. Tuesday, Don't Make Us Bored. Wednesday, Kusog7ande. Friday, the GDQ Hotfix Grudge match, as well as Big Bad Game-a-thon all weekend. It's a huge, busy week, everybody. It's going to be a lot of fun. Are you streaming anything over at your channel these days?
Yeah, I'm in BBG this coming weekend, so I'm then practicing virtual highline a bunch.
Yeah!
And Flock needs to enter my rotation. I gotta get that game's hard. So
yeah, let me just say,
I played a British platformer before. Flock.
Well, okay. Everybody, by the way, this last Don't Make Us Bored, we did have a bit of a BBG preview with Virtual Highlight, and it was hilarious. I love that game. That's gonna be a lot of fun. People are excited for Plock as well. I'm gonna watch a lot of this weekend.
Yeah, I am too. I managed to world record the Virtual Highlight run, right? Like after a few more tries on that seed, so...
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, world record, boy. Well, let's see if you can get a new world record during BBG, because that would be awesome.
We'll see. There are some time saves. Like, there's definitely... I could get luckier on the RNG, right? Like, there's some time saves to be had.
Well, we're going to go ahead and raid Gildersneeze then. Gilder is currently streaming an early access game. Got a key provided. The Wandering Village, I don't know what this is. Do we have a good raid message, friends? Anything fun?
This game had no text. So.
Yeah, it didn't.
It just had the elite constantly in the lower right-hand corner. Just elite.
Wilf? You just want to yell Wilf?
Wilf.
Kokotoni Wilf. Sure, whatever.
Does that have a meaning? Or like, Wilf is a name.
Wilf is a last name.
Yeah, Wilf's a name. Right?
Yeah, let's go ahead and just say Wilf. And we'll go ahead and let Gildersneeze process that. I'm sure Gildersneeze will appreciate it. Zone items, Wilfs, that's also pretty good. If y'all want to... collect Wilfs, that's also good. Just anything involving Wilf is an acceptable raid message. I'll see you later, Mecha Link. I'll see you, Donkey Klonk. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Okay.